Telecom, where they don't want to use early picks on it, but they have trouble playing against it because of how strong it is right now. And if you're Bang, you want to play that Corki. That's a champion that you're 26-1 on professionally. You can do well on it, so take away the lane counters so you can continue playing to your strengths. Rumble banned against Marin. Bit interesting. I'm not sure if SKT would actually first pick the Rumble.
That'd be a bit surprising. There's a Rise ban, makes a little bit more sense, but some strong picks available.
So going for the jungle. So we see the Rek'Sai banned out. They first pick the Evelynn. I think they see Trick in the lineup right now, and they're thinking, all right, new guy, you're not getting the Rek'Sai, and you're going to have to play against an invisible jungler. And Bengi is a jungler that is very good at pathing. He knows how to get that information in. So they think, well, if we just know where Trick is all game, because our Evelynn is in their jungle constantly putting down wards so that our lanes can play aggressively, you're going to have a very hard time countering that style of play, and especially when you don't know where the Evelynn is with the Tremor Sense. So interesting strategy from SKT here, definitely targeting Trick.
Yeah. And so do you just take this Braum right off the bat, worrying a little bit that they may grab the mid Ezreal on the second rotation? Looks like they want to take the Corki away from Bang as well, and they will. So bot lane picked up by CJ.
So this is smart from CJ. They're on the red side. Now, they take the Corki early, one of Bang's best champions, but also one that synergizes very well in a siege or poke composition with the Ezreal. So, basically, you're now threatening a Runeglaive Ezreal yourself, and we know that Coco's no slouch on the Ezreal, and you're taking a counter to the Runeglaive Ezreal at the same time with the Braum and the Unbreakable to block a lot of that damage.
Well, Maokai Alistar are smart pickups too, because Shy is not exactly the strongest player we've seen on that counter pick Fizz that's been very popular to use against the Maokai. And why not grab your support? You know, why not just hold as much information as you can?
Yeah, and of course, Wolf gaining some MVP points last week for his Alistar play, certainly very good on that pickup. And remember, we did see some Nidalee bans against Trick in the last series. So, known in solo queue for that Nidalee. CJ is not a team that plays well with Gnar, so that's a bit of a concern. They want to have a winning matchup, but Shy's Gnar hasn't been up to snuff when we compare it to a lot of the other Gnar players in this league.
Yeah. Now, lately, Bang has been diversifying that champion pool a little bit. It was a lot of Corki Sivir for the vast majority of the season, a little bit of Vayne here and there. He's going to lock it in today, but we did also see the Lucian last time, too.
Yep, the Vayne, and they played Vayne and Runeglaive Ezreal together.
Yes, they did.
So, do you take it here? You have to be scared. There's a Corki Nidalee. What are you going to do against a poke composition right now? You've got some good engage. You have Alistar, you have Evelynn, you have Maokai. So they're saying we're going to be able to get into that back line if you pick the Runeglaive Ezreal. Azir is taken away from Coco. This is much more of a Coco counter pick than it is a pick for Faker. Faker's been fine on the Azir, but I wouldn't say it's one of his best champions. But you can't let Coco have Azir. He's too good on it.
Yeah. And we'll see. Faker's had a little bit of time to improve on that, even though it hasn't been one of his strongest. What are we going to see CJ pick up for the mid lane, though? We saw Nivea last season, but not this season. Well, the Syndra is a interesting idea. CJ mulling it over, and they might as well go for that Ezreal.
I don't know. This is going to be really hard for them to deal with. They've got an Evelynn flank to deal with. They have Maokai targeted initiation. They have a long-range initiation from Alistar. And we've seen that Wolf really has no qualms in terms of flash headbutt pulving. And while you can't escape from that, if you can see it, he can do it so quickly that it will be sometimes hard for the Ezreal to avoid. But they build up this composition. CJ goes for a kiting composition. They want to poke. Now, that said, they do not have good engage. They have to get to the dragon first. It's another one of these poke comps that we see with low primary engage. It's all about kiting right here for them. And that means if SK Telecom starts a dragon before they have a real chance to poke, then there's not much they're going to be able to do to stop it in time, because they can't actually get crowd control beyond hoping that Mad Life or Shy get a good flash engage, and that's only if they have these champions up. On the other hand, SK Telecom, again, great engage, great skirmishing. They've got excellent protection for Vayne with the Azir ult in place. So Bang going to be relied upon to do a lot of damage in this one.
Well, it certainly worked out for him well in the past, and we'll see how much Bangy can try to abuse the new guy. We'll see how much he can make Trick's life miserable here as we move into game number 1 between SK Telecom and CJE Entus. SKT looking to continue that record, continue a perfect season as far as match score goes here in Champion Summer, and CJ looking for a majorly big win, which they could really use right now. It's time to get in the game and see who can take it. All right, welcome to Summoner's Rift. SK Telecom versus CJE Entus. And this should be a pretty good one.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Trick's Nidalee. We don't have a lot of Nidalee junglers in Korea compared to a lot of the other regions. And in this particular game, we saw it banned when he played in his last match. So definitely there's something that people think to fear there.
Yep.
But he doesn't have great lanes to gank for, honestly. The Gnar and the Ezreal and the Braum not perhaps providing as much hard crowd control instantaneously as you would want, right? You have to close that gap with the Gnar. You have to stack up the concussive blows with the Braum. There's really nothing in the mid lane to speak of. So it's going to be a harder game to play Nidalee. And I thought that Trick did well the last time he played with this roster, with the Echo. But then again, he had Coco to help him out with his ganks with TF. He had a Maokai in the top lane. It was a lot easier to get good ganks because his lanes naturally set him up for that. So this is going to be a real test, I think, for him.
Very true.
Also, it's not against Spenu. So
yeah,
there's that
also
too.
it's against SK Telecom. Yeah, a little bit of a difference in team quality between Spenu and SK Telecom. Last time I checked, they were about as far apart on the standings as you could be.
So Faker just going to set up for some nice juicy raptors with a sapling stack, double stacking, and it will be a lane swap as we see Bang move in to freeze the top side, and that'll be about it. No real chance for Mad Life to invade here. They will be just taking that red buff. Ooh, interesting pathing, going back to the Krugs. Something you rarely see for SKT, so maybe being a little tricky right now. And where are they going to go from this point forward?
We'll see. Bang has a nice lane freeze up in top. Right now, looks like Marn's going to recall and then just go right back to lane. And Faker, of course, putting a lot of pressure on this Coco early. That lack of wave clear for Ezreal is going to make it pretty easy for Faker to take an early lead.
You know what, Doa? I feel like every time somebody picks a low wave clear champion against Faker, I mean, we saw the Coot Tigers do this. They tried to get the Cassiopeia, they tried to get the Kassadin.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work. Faker pushes you out of lane, he takes your tower, and then he starts running around the map killing everybody. So I think we've seen more success for mid laners that take a more control mage approach that makes it so Faker can't abuse you in the laning phase due to his aggressive playstyle.
Well, this is something that already takes advantage of Trick, right? Is that all this pressure in the mid lane is kind of saying, hey, you know, come and try to make an early play, and you know, if you do, you're trying to do it against Faker, and that can be really tough. And if you don't, you're going to lose a little bit of time in your own jungle with that early farm.
Yeah, it's also just intimidating.
Yeah.
The mind games of having to deal with Faker's pressure are not going to be easy for a new jungler.
Yep, very true. Looks like Trick may be coming in from behind there to go after Marin and Wolf. Space and Mad Life right there. Throws in the spear, misses though. Only hits that minion, and there's a ward there to spot him anyway.
Yeah, saw him coming. And that's the trouble here. Where do you go to reliably land the spear?
Well, I mean, SK Telecom already has good wards in the river to see where Trick is going, so there's not much mystery as far as like how safe Faker might be.
And look at this.
Very.
Look at how SKT is playing right now. They just want to push the lanes.
Yep.
They're trying to move across the board. They didn't go for a safe lane freeze. Of course, Vayne is a champion that is very strong in a 1v1 if left alone in a lane swap. Extremely good duelist. So look at some stats right there. Madlife has actually been having a great season. He's number 2 at 346 assists actually in this league. So
yeah, and he's got over a 70% win rate on that Braum too, which is pretty amazing. As there's not a lot of Braum players in the league right now. Wolf gets stunned by the Braum passive and takes a little bit of damage.
Well, we have been seeing more and more Braum players as a reaction to the fact that Moonblade Ezreal is a big part of the draft these days.
Yeah.
So that is definitely something that is affecting Braum's competitive pick rate.
Nice zoning from Madlife there, kept him from getting that. Yeah, he's going to go right after Trick, though. Trick hits him with the spear, but still on the run.
Yeah, that point-blank spear, though, just not going to do any damage. So Bengi confidently moving forward. He's also the one with the Chilling Smite should he need to use it. So has actually a combat smite to contest with Trick, even though it was down. Both the jungler smites were down when that little skirmish occurred. So Faker doing a number. This is how you have to play. This is what we didn't see against the Ezreal in our last series.
Oh, and we may see a bit of a dive here onto Coco. Here we go. Coco in a little bit of trouble. Bengi coming in as well. There's the knockup right after the flash was used in first blood. Goes to Bengi. Nice patient play from Wolf, waiting until the flash was used by Coco to use that. Trick gets bounced out by Wolf. They're going to go in. Shy came down as well, but Faker zoning with those Sand Soldiers. Madlife over the wall, though. Not going to get a chance to really make a big difference here, though, as he just tosses out a Q, and that's going to be it.
Well, it was a very easy dive to call. Again, they were pushing up in the bottom side. Marin was thinking about heading back. That freed up Wolf to go into the mid lane, and they knew exactly where Trick was because Bengi had just seen him walk up in further into the top side of the jungle. So there was no chance that he could have been there. Shy's TP was down. That was it. They had all the information to very safely make that play, and Faker again punishing a champion that can't push back early.
Yeah, pretty much. Coco getting a little bit of time now to catch up in CS, but he's still a ways back.
Yep, and he has to go for the Trailblazer, so there's not really any combat stats to speak of. Faker moving towards that Morello Nomicon very rapidly. I guess we're not going to see the Nashor's Tooth early this game.
Yeah, Faker just going for more pure damage.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy, Wolf, we may see another dive here. Bengi coming in as well, too. There's a recall from space. They see it. Is the minion wave going to push in time? Bengi's going to just delay it with the hate spikes, it looks like. There we go. Coming in, there's a Valkyrie Wolf. Can he get the headbutt pulverized? Trying to get close enough. They get the flash.
Yep.
That's really all they wanted, I suppose.
And Marin just going to TP immediately into top. Could be.
He could get dove, though.
Absolutely he could. They know where Bengi is right now. What?
Recall from Shy. I feel like this is a really easy dive opportunity. They know he's there. He's killing their minions, but I guess that's it. I guess they're not going to do it. Not a fast enough reaction from CJ. And SKT, they're just going to take the first dragon, I guess.
Wow, so
bizarre.
Yeah, very, very strange.
A plan to Faker here coming into the mid lane. He's going to get some vision from that ward, though. SKT looking pretty solid in the early moments of this game. Early minutes. One dragon. Got that first blood onto Bengi.
Well, and look at this, too. They just keep on threatening.
Uh-oh, Coco's trapped. He uses that arcane shift, but he's got no flash. And there's a kill for Marin. Faker picks up the assist. And, I mean, you push in the lane and you start taking advantage of these guys. And Coco's flash just came up. I think they got him like seconds before he was able to use that summoner.
Well, they would have the timer on that, so they knew there was a very narrow window to make that play, and they managed to make it happen. They have enough crowd control to do it quite easily. Faker doesn't have to burn a summoner. Faker doesn't have to burn an ult at all. So it's all going SK Telecom's way, and you know, Trick is he has not been there when it comes to actually countering this action. He's just getting out jungled by Bengi right now. He's giving up the information that SKT needs to make some very convincing plays, and
it's a very fast turret.
A 9-minute turret, which when you consider the way that turrets have that protection before 8 minutes is pretty impressive.
Yeah. SKT, Bang & Wolf still hanging out in the bot lane. Looks like they'll be just fine. The blue buff does successfully get handed over to Coco, which is kind of a nice relief. Oh, checking for the other blue. Ooh, Space gets very low here.
Well, Space has been alone in this lane the entire time, but that means that Bengi has been able to ward with Wolf all the way around the lane. Look, they even have that ward still, of course, in that little brush, so they can tell exactly if anyone's coming down there. Yeah. So this opens the Vayne up to just kind of go nuts. They know exactly whether Trick or Bad Life are going to be there, and Corki has just been on his own down here for the most part. And when Trick and Bad Life had a chance perhaps to dive that top side, they shied away from it.
Yep, and the first turret of the game taken by Faker, just pushing Coco back. 30 CS ahead right now. Immediately drops at his Azir turret there as well.
Yeah, and he knows exactly where Trick is. He's got a ward in the Raptor pit, so easily dodging that spear.
Yeah.
And now this is where Coco no longer has an effect on the game. This is where Faker starts to really just dominate the map. Because he can go back, he can buy, he's going to push the wave up, and then also Bengi has total freedom. Guys, Bengi and Wolf just going to do what they like, go into the enemy jungle, put the wards down now that there's not a mid turret and Coco can't get forward. Coco has to play super scared as he will not most likely have enough information about his own jungle to know if he's going to get ganked from behind.
Yeah. Whoa, that spear came through just a millisecond too late, you know. And all this pushing in the mid lane too is really letting Marin have a very easy time up in top lane. Perfectly content with his single kill of the game so far. Oh boy.
Found Bengi.
Yep. Well, Bengi found the Scuttle Crab. And Bang and Wolf getting to be very aggressive in the bottom lane too. Bang pulling ahead in CS, so yeah, Trick just not able to put out all these fires that SKT is starting all over the map.
Well, I think that their draft plan of first pick Evelyn, while taking away Rek'Sai, basically really messed with Trick.
Yeah.
A very good. Okay.
Whoa! Faker, meanwhile, kills Coco with a little bit of help from Marin yet again. Not even needing to teleport for that one.
Nope. Marin's just been roaming all over the map into the mid lane multiple times. CJ didn't have any wards in their own jungle to even detect where he was.
Yeah. Wow. And Faker's just going to go after this tier 2. He may get a tier 2 before 12 minutes.
So I think between the data that has been given to us by Kuro and CJ, you are no longer allowed to pick low wave clear laners against Faker if you want to live.
Seriously. Wow. I mean, you really can't lose a lane harder than Coco's lost mid.
It's impressive. And yes, he's been targeted. Yes, he's been camped. But this is the price you pay. You can camp the Ezreal early and get away with it.
Yep.
Because he just doesn't do any. Now he has Runeglaive at least, but for most of this game, he wasn't doing any damage.
Marin getting that ward up in top, making sure there was no lane gank coming in from Trick. Trick was just skirmishing a bit with Faker in the jungle, though, so I suppose he knew he wasn't up there already.
And this is also the best way to play against CJ Entus, because you know that if you shut down Coco, no one else is going to be carrying this team.
Very true.
Space is good as a positional AD carry. He's good for supplemental damage. Shy plays a lot of tanks, but they are insanely reliant on Coco. He does more damage as a percentage of his team than any other mid laner in this league. If he is shut down...
Uh-oh, and Shy gets caught. Marin and Bengi coming in for this one, and Shy has the flash. Gonna use it. Is he gonna escape? Spear comes through. Bengi dodges it with the flash. Gonna try to get closer to Shy, and he will. Faker unable to steal that kill.
Just there, they're playing Ring Around the Rosie on that little island in the top lane. Someone was going to get him sooner or later, and it is, I guess, Bengi in the end. Denying Faker.
Yep. Well, Space knocked against the wall there, and he could be in a lot of trouble. Where's the condemned? Space taking a lot of damage as he exhausts. His Mad Life goes in onto Bang. He can't get over. Oh, nice knock-up. Good CC from Mad Life, and that's a kill. Marin comes down, though. Not close enough to save Bang, but they are going to get Space. Who's going to get the kill? Looks like they'll give that one over to Marin. That is his second or third of the game. Meanwhile, they did take out top lane turret as well.
Yep, Bengi stayed at the top lane to continually put pressure and get some advantage off of Shy dying. Marin then is freed up to use his teleport, comes right back in from the tri-brush behind the turret to help finish up the kill. Probably could have been a little bit better coordinated right there. He seems like they thought he was going to be there a bit sooner, but...
Marin pops that ultimate, could be in a little bit of trouble. Trick circling from the side. Here comes Wolf. Soaks up that Q from Braum. Now he's in trouble. Very low health there. Will he need to use that ult? A little bit too late. He's going to go down. Wolf gives his life for his top laner. The ultimate support sacrifice.
Well, he didn't have his ult right there.
Yeah,
Chose not to use the flash. Thought he was dead anyway. Wasn't going to be able to get under the turret in a meaningful capacity. So Trick picks up a kill. Second of CJ's this game. No, just that one dragon rather for SKT. It's like they could be thinking about another one right now, but they want the blue buff first.
Yeah, Faker trying to zone with those Sand Soldiers.
Yeah, Trick doesn't have any mana.
Yeah, that blue buff releashes back towards SKT, and who's going to get it? Looks like it did go over to Bengi. Couldn't give it to Faker, but at least they kept it away from CJ.
Well, they have their own blue buff to go after right after they take this dragon.
Yep.
Bang has that wave nice and forward in the lane, so they're going to try and steal it with a True Shot Barrage. Here we go. Oh, no. Not enough AP yet to really do enough to spike the dragon with the damage and get it low.
Yeah, pretty much. And now this bottom turret looks like it could very well go down. Space trying to do what he can. Looks like he'll save the turret for the moment anyway. Here comes Mad Life from the side. He doesn't have his ult quite yet. Wolf trying to zone. Trick is there as well too. Wolf pops the ultimate, maybe in a lot of trouble. There's the stun. Never mind.
Damage, percent
pop
damage.
Pop the ultimate, yeah. No.
Percent damage reduction in CC clear is a pretty strong feature.
Helps a lot, doesn't it? Shy on the run. Faker trying to come up and make a kill there. Twist advance from Marin. Shy with no flash to use here to try to get away, and Meganar is over. It's going to be another kill for SK Telecom. The only question, who gets it? Mid laner or top laner? Looks like it'll be Faker this time around. Shy has really been abused in that top lane as well.
Well, this is what happens. Your tower goes down, then Faker is in all of your side lanes, killing your bans.
Yep.
And can't play this way. You have to contain Faker somehow. Otherwise, when he gets out on the map, he knows how to snowball huge advantages.
Bengi right there to protect Bang and Wolf. Trying to save this turret. We'll see if Wolf decides to go in.
And they can't really do this because there would be a TP from Shy once he respawns. So
yeah.
Bengi was just trying to play defensively, seeing if they would dive because they can't really commit to a fight down here. This is smart of CJ though. There's no wave clear on this bottom side right now, so go for it. Space has the Sheen. Coco has the Rune Glaive, so you can poke out very nicely and take the tower. Nice move by CJ. That is a really good response to that situation.
Yeah. So they at least get a turret. Faker's still pushing that mid lane pretty heavily and taking a lot of the jungle away from Trick as well.
Yeah, interesting build from Faker this game. Very early home guard boots on this Azir. He just wants, the idea here is that he goes back because he has so much ground to cover to get up to the mid lane, and what he wants to do is just push and push and push and then roam.
Yeah.
So get into the mid lane as fast as possible with the home guard boots so you can maintain pressure. Uh-oh.
Oh, don't, you may not want to step in those traps, Bang. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Da-dun, da-dun. Up face check, and Wolf pops the ultimate immediately. He'll be okay for now, and Bang enters the fray. There's a flash from Mad Life trying to get that stun passive off. Space goes deep. He Valkyries in, gets exhausted immediately. Shy TP's down, and SK Telecom just backs away. Used a couple summoners, but they got CJ, I think, to commit a bit more there.
Yep, and they got the TP out without any effect whatsoever. Faker back in the mid lane. So going back to the home guard, when you have the home guard and you can continually push, you say, well, okay, why would I pick home guard over another damage item if I actually want to snowball this game? But honestly, because the idea is that Coco will always be in the mid lane because he has to deal with the minion wave, you're always going to be a man up once Faker starts roaming. So do you necessarily need the extra damage? No, because it's not an even fight regardless. So having that extra presence on the map is much more valuable for him right now. He recognizes this, and Coco has been a total non-factor as a result.
Pretty much. Baron up in a minute 20, and you'd have to imagine SK Telecom will be thinking about taking that one pretty patiently in the next 5 minutes or so, 10 minutes or so. But there's really no rush, is there?
No.
Okay.
No, there's not. You got a lot of ways to win this game.
Yep. Q doesn't connect. Trick not really able to make a play either. SKT has to play a little bit careful. Wolf doesn't have his ultimate right now. Bang getting plenty of time to farm, getting a nice lead on CS. Still no kills yet, but at any moment, this Vayne could just go off in a team fight.
Well, at the very least, too, in terms of going off in a team fight, Coco's starting to get up there, so it's going to come down to execution from SKT because they don't have an easy way to block the True Shot Barrage. Try as you might, it will still be powerful in the late game. Marin has gone for the Frozen Heart early because he's been in this lane with Gnar. So the magic resist really isn't there.
Oh, ult used by Bang. He wants to try something, but not quite able to get there in time.
He really wants this tier 1.
Yeah.
But Space is just going to react, fall back with that Trinity Force. He has the Vamp Scepter, so the damage not going to be a big factor. CJ actually going to get their blue buff. That is pretty huge for Coco's Ezreal.
Space was definitely ready for that. All in from Bang.
So if you're SKT, still don't have that magic resist, and okay, yeah,
time for
this is
Sneaky
smart.
Baron.
This is smart. Just go ahead and do it. Why not?
Well, they can always back off too, and Shy is going to come in and check it.
I don't know if he actually saw that being done or not.
I don't think so, because it hadn't really lost much health before they left.
May have just caught a little bit of the regen, but that would have been it.
Yeah. True Shot Barrage comes through. Clear the wave, and Marin's going to TP in. What's the play going to be? They want that turret, and they want Space coming in now. I don't think Space is making it out of this one. Valkyrie, there's the twisted advance. Marin just knocking him back, and that lets Bang catch up with the ultimate, the tumble, and an easy pick for SKT. Marin picks up yet another kill.
Yep, they have a deep ward in the lane, and this is the power of getting that mid tower down early, is it lets you easily set up these teleport plays to snowball off of. When they have so many wards in, they know that there's nobody there. So Marin takes a very low-risk dive. They get the tower, and look at the timing, too. Right as the dragon spawns, they're able to chain a kill into the low tier 1, into the dragon in one fell swoop. They don't need Faker up there because they see Shy. Shy has no TP, and you know you're going to win that 4v4. So go ahead, SKT, just making extremely clean calls all over the map.
Yeah, Marin picked up his righteous glory with that recall too, so if they didn't have enough engage, well, now they've got even more. Faker checking the bush, dodges the spear, somehow comes in. He's going for the 1v2, gets knocked up by Mad Life. Needs to be a little bit careful there, doesn't want to get stunned by the passive. Wolf's just going to help him get out.
Yeah, he's not going to be worried about a support in a jungle. Look at Trick. He's going
so.
a Rod of Ages. Trick is so far away from being a threat. He's gone for a stacking item in a game that they are clearly losing.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the best thing to pick up at 22 minutes.
I do like it more on Jungle Italy than I used to because now you get more AP out of the item with all those changes to the AP item. So I do think that it's nicer on her because I guess my sort of feeling was the HP wasn't that necessary a component because in the late game, whether you have that HP or not, you're still going to get popped if you miss position on Italy. It doesn't actually affect that much. But having that AP, the extra poke damage, and the extra heal, too, can be quite useful.
It's true.
And the extra mana, too.
But at the same time, I mean, when you're behind,
you
really justify it.
No. I don't think this is a good item in this instance, but I do think the Rod of Ages is now better on Jungle Italy.
All right. Well, SKT looks like they want to fight this. Ultimate used by Bengi. Space backing off. Marin trying to come in from the side. This flash is used. Faker doing a lot of damage in that choke. True Shot Barrage comes through, but can Coco do enough? Space very low. Coco does manage to zone people away, but not before Marin gets a kill. Just advancing back onto Shy to get out. Marin's still in a lot of trouble, though. Oh, barely dodged that Q, and Shy doesn't hit him with the ult. Oh, that Gnar ult could have netted CJ a kill for sure.
And you see how squishy Marin is right now when it comes to dealing with the magic damage. We look at CJ, their three main damage threats are Nidalee, AP Ezreal, and Corki. He has built exclusively for the lane with the fast Frozen Heart, so they need to be very cautious about how they approach these fights. They do not have an Aegis done yet. It's coming from Bengi, it is coming, but no one really with a lot of magic resist. I think this is a bit cocky from SKT, but I don't.
Oh, Bang finds Shy. There's the flash. I don't think.
Well,
looks like the hop will do it. Oh, they caught Faker. See, Faker saw Mad Life clearing out a ward and thought he could come around the corner, but Trick was there. I'm wondering if that was what was going to happen, and it did.
It did.
Yep. Well, Coco. Bit with space there. Yeah, Bang can't fight that. Looks like they might lose this top turret.
Yep, they will. They don't have the wave clear to actually get away with this. Oh, we'll see how fast Marin can get there, but they need to start grouping and sieging. So CJ at least having the right idea.
Bengi is there, but he'll be seen if he comes through the river by a pink ward. But they know the pink ward's there, of course.
He's got no way to get in. There's a pink warded river and a pink warded tri-brush.
Yeah. Oh, Marin coming in. He wants to go in on a trick. There's the exhaust use as well. Wolf thinking about coming in. Bengi from the side. They're going to go ahead and kill Trick. Now Space in a lot of trouble. Another kill for Marin, and Mad Life going to go down soon as somebody finishes him off. There we go. Bang with the kill.
Coco had no mana at the end of that fight to actually keep fighting or slinging some spells to do the damage. So as soon as Marin was able to go in and pop his Righteous Glory, there just wasn't much they could do any longer. The major source of damage had gone away, and now it's just going to be an uncontested Baron.
Yep, and Marin just going to zone Coco out as he tries to take this one, but it's not going to get it. A lot of low health members for SKT. Wolf barely makes it out with his life, but it looks like that's going to be a Baron on all 5 members of SK Telecom.
Yeah, let's take a look at this one again, because Bengi actually, I mean, CJ has the right warding to do this, but with Coco at such low mana, and Trick just gets caught out, which gives Bengi time just to walk up. He doesn't have to be the primary engage from the flank right there.
Pretty much.
Marin does the work for him. And
Faker just killed Coco in a 1v3, by the way. Here comes Maokai from behind, though. Faker extremely low health, needs to be really careful here. So that just happened. Maybe we'll get a replay of that. It was Faker just bursting down Coco, basically.
Well, is he going to take his blue buff, too?
Maybe. Doesn't look like it. Not at the moment, anyway. Now we probably can. But with that Baron, SK Telecom pushing ahead, burning through that inhibitor turret like nothing. And that inhibitor, I really doubt, is going to last very long. Mad Life does have his ultimate, so if CJ wants to engage, they can try something.
And Faker just going to go for blue right now. This team is taking out the inhibitor, no problem.
Yep, pretty far ahead.
Faker just cuckoo for Coco buffs this game.
Cuckoo for Coco's buffs. Wow, that was beautiful. That was one of your best.
Works better because he's also playing a bird.
That's true. He's cuckoo for Coco's buffs.
He's definitely cuckoo for Coco's buffs this game.
Well, I think they're cuckoo for everything Coco has at this point.
Oh, what do you say? Another SK Telecom game where I really think, after the Coup Tigers match, I was like, nobody's going to be this dumb to do this again. Nobody's going to just let Faker take over a game.
Well, Monty. Yeah, that's a 1v3.
Up, just pushing him out. That was pretty.
Poke.
Whatever. Pressed R. Move some soldiers around. Right clicked.
Yeah, anyone can do it, right? Now the Baron. And CJ will claim a turret. But that is 4th Dragon, rather, not Baron, for SK Telecom. So now they have that 5 Dragon pressure as well, too.
Still have Baron buff ticking away. Got some more time to use it. Should they decide to take some more inhibitors. Faker needed another blue buff, I guess. Delaying the push a little bit there.
And needs all the buffs, man.
Running a little bit low on that Baron as a result. But yeah. Faker's job is just to shove the mid wave and then start to group on the bottom side of the map.
All right, here comes the push. Bottom lane, Faker over the wall to help his team out. Hello. Sand soldiers in your bases. And that should clear quite a bit. Ooh, Bang, wow, very low after that true shot barrage, but SKT not deterred. Bengi coming from the side, way deep in the base. They're gonna ult, they're gonna actually push CJ back a bit. No big team fight to speak of, but they're able to take that turret and go right onto the inhibitor again. Wow, Faker bending it to bring Mad Life in range. There's the Zonias. Didn't quite catch as many people as he wanted there. SKT still should be able to get that inhibitor. That was nearly big team fight loss for CJ.
I love the way SK Telecom played that, because once Bang was choked out, sure, you could send him back, you could wait for another minion wave, he's got a Blade of the Ruined King to actually heal up, but they wanted the inhibitor, they had their eyes on the actual objective. And what that meant was, when Bengi threatened, he wasn't ulting to engage right there. He was just ulting, and Marin used Righteous Glory simply to push them off the tower. They couldn't have fought then because Bang was so low, even though they have this big advantage. So they withdraw immediately afterwards, collapse on the turret, collapse on the inhibitor, take that objective safely, and CJ really doesn't have a way to counterplay that very meaningfully. So it's just very good shot calling from SK Telecom. They just look so poised.
Yeah, they really do seem to be playing everything pretty flawlessly this game. And potentially a slow, methodical end, but CJ, a team that relies on team fights in the middle and late game, so they're going to try something. You know CJ is going to go for some sort of apocalyptic team fight here at the end of it. But when? When are they going to get a chance?
They're not.
Barrage.
They're not Doa, spoiler.
I hope they are. I think they're going to go for it right now. We'll see. Trick landing a couple spears, but that's about it.
I mean, they just have to be worried about all these minion waves. What are they going to do right now? Super minions steadily flooding into their base in 2 lanes.
Yeah, they have to try something here. They have to try something. Shy's about to go Mega Gnar. This is it. He's going to come in, get condemned back immediately. Zone used by Faker just to stay safe. Shy with no flash. He already used it to get out, and Mad Life very, very low. And now Marin getting in the back lines, making a mess of everything. And Faker takes out the turret. Bang takes out Marin and Shy. And SKT going to take this game. A triple kill for Bang to end things out. Oh, Coco, very low. Nearly killed in Fountain by Faker. Faker really wants something in the Fountain here. I think he's going to settle with just an Nexus. He's going to go in. And oh, he